PLD Projects presents Holy Snokes, a Star Wars podcast featuring PLD and Matty Gunner. May the Force be with you, always. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special live edition of Holy Snokes here on a very special day. It is Monday. It is not Thursday. We are live. It is not pre-recorded. I'm PLD from PLD Projects. With me, as always, Matty Gunner. How are you doing, my friend?
You know what I've just realized that we've done?
What is that?
We're currently live at the same time as Force Center.
Are we? You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right.
We have been Force Centered by Force Center themselves.
Some podcasts we absolutely do look up to. Sometimes scheduling just doesn't work out the way sometimes it just works out this way. You have to.
I literally just got the notification on my phone that they went live.
Well,
but it is a special day today.
It is.
We had May the 4th. May the 4th be with you yesterday.
Today.
Yeah, did you know what today is?
It's Revenge of the 5th.
No. You got that one wrong. That's tomorrow. Revenge of the 6th. Today is There's Always a Bigger 5th.
There's always a bigger 5th. Oh, okay. I never heard that one before. Okay. I like that.
Shout out John Hoey. I absolutely stole it from him.
Yeah, John Hoey's good to steal from. He is definitely good to steal from the Resistance broadcast. Another great Star Wars podcast.
When it comes to dad jokes and the like,
he's good
I can call you, I can call him. Basically anyone in my life that's a dad.
That's fair. That's fair. We do like to correlate some good dad jokes here as well. So yeah, I'm
sure I have one out there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure you do as well. That definitely
I got it at this point.
That's not a doubt. There's not a doubt in my mind that you have a little Padawan somewhere running around at this point. But it is. I
want 66 that little shit as soon as he turns 18.
Wow. All right, fair. Definitely, that's why you are our current Sith Lord, as always, Matty. How is your Star Wars day? You are May the 4th.
I actually didn't do anything Star Warsy for it because I went to watch The Accountant 2 instead.
You know what's funny? I did the same thing. I didn't watch The Accountant 2, though I watched Thunderbolts.
Also a great movie. Both were great movies.
Both are fun movies.
Can I just say, we're going to talk about it on our other show. I love Bernthal and Affleck together.
Oh, they have great chemistry. They have absolutely great chemistry. The film is it's definitely a different tone than the first one, but they make it worth watching. Absolutely. 100%. So,
and I'm going to bring this point up when we talk about it in a few weeks' time, a few days even. Give me Nice Guys mixed with those two.
Oh, that could be an interesting mix around. Absolutely. I didn't think about that. It's a week from now. That's right. A week from now, we're going live again, but not this podcast. It's our class action podcast. Me, Matty, are joined by Richard R. Jarvie, and we're putting up The Accountant versus The Accountant 2 in a pitched battle to the death in a steel cage. But that is next week. This week,
I had to get the plug in.
You did. I appreciate that. As always, you're a better businessman than I am sometimes. This week, though, we are doing Star Wars, and we did. This is one Star Wars thing I did do yesterday was plug it in and watch Tales of the Underworld.
I did do this. I did watch this show.
I did it
because I knew we had this stream. So I thought, you know what? I should probably watch this show.
Probably just get it through it. Luckily, it's not that long of a show. It's 6 episodes. It's they're all like 15 minutes or so. I think the longest was under 20 minutes. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. But I will say, you know what? One thing I do have to note about May the 4th is that I love the fact that everybody still gets involved, whether it's corporate or not. I don't care. It still makes me smile. Like I was driving up the Northway, our through to get to the movie theater, and all these signs up, and whoever works at the Department of Transportation in my area in Albany or in New York State, are Star Wars fans. I saw 3 specific signs. One was, let's see, what was it? It was Lightspeed can wait. Buckle up, young Skywalker. There was a sign, Sith happens. So slow down, and slow down. You must arrive safely. You will. So,
I've often thought about getting Sith happens tattooed.
I always thought about that too, and I don't even have a tattoo because that's one of my favorite things as well. A nice
We're
way
gonna
to say
change
all
that
that
in
stuff.
LA.
Maybe you never know. I'll have to say,
I
not
know.
exactly against it. I'm just never really done it
With
really.
the amount of alcohol that's going to be in your system,
Is that
I'm
true?
going to tattoo you.
All right, that's fair. All right, that's fair. But we do have a show to talk about first, and we will get to our news. We didn't get to our news last time since we were covering the 3 episodes of Andor from last week. We got Andor again tomorrow. That's going to be another great time. So it's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. You got Andor, and we got a new animated series, Tales of the Underworld, the third in this anthology series. Of course, we opened up with Tales of the Jedi. We opened up with second one with Tales of the Empire, and now Tales of the Underworld. I love these little anthologies. I gotta say, I think like just on an overall basis before we get into like reviewing it, it's a fun way to kind of like get a deeper look at a character that maybe hasn't gotten enough screen time yet, or just we can find deeper layers for. We can kind of continue stories that we didn't get a chance to finish in either, or in some cases get to learn get a lot more depth in their origins that we didn't know. And so like these are perfect because they don't require like a full 12 to 16 episode series. This isn't like a big overall story. It's kind of just like a hit and run kind of story. But usually overall serves both character well and sometimes the overall lore as well. And obviously Star Wars animation.
It does the laws work.
It does the lore's work. I like that. We're gonna keep that. Speaking of dad jokes, you're better than I am sometimes.
And that's what's going to be the title. I posted this the other day. This is going to be the title of my memoir. My memoirs to be released after I'm dead. I'm just here to do the law's work.
The law's work. Fair enough. I mean, Star Wars animation has been kicking ass for quite a while now. If anything, I think it's been the most consistent Star Wars thing we've gotten
it's got to get a whole lot better.
And for you specifically, yes, I know as the biggest Maul fan I know, that's coming up soon. Well,
in the world. It's a scientific fact. I am the number one.
Like I said, the number one I know. There you go. So
in the world, above everyone else, I will fist fight anyone that disagrees.
I will. No, I'm not going to fight you on it. Definitely not going to fight you on it. I'd watch you fight somebody else.
Wise beyond your many years.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not. All right. Let's get into today's review. Again, Tales of the Underworld, we have 3 episodes on Asajj Ventress and 3 episodes on Cad Bane. How we work this is we generally basically take these in segment form, and then we gotta go and wrap it up with a more like expanded look at it later towards the end. We're gonna do this in the case of each arc. Instead of doing it episode by episode, instead of doing all 6 episodes, we'll do the arcs as like one big storyline here. Let's get right to it. Of course, the first thing that our first segment that we always discuss, we're claiming it back. We're taking it back from the little hiatus it was put on for Andor. This is Hondo Watch 2025. Did Hondo Ohnaka make an appearance in Tales of the Underworld? I am very disappointed to announce the answer is no. And how is this possible, my friend? This seems like it was guaranteed, like set up to have an appearance by the great, the one, the only, our patron saint, Hondo Ohnaka. How did this happen, Matty?
I'm gonna be careful with what I say because I feel like this show probably would have been better with a 3 episode Hondo arc than with one that we got. And I'll spare which one for when we talk about it.
Okay.
But this is not me being like genuine. Like, this is me being genuine. This isn't me cracking jokes that like we miss Hondo. Like, his absence was definitely felt in this one for me.
I fully agree. There's definitely a lot of time, even if we didn't have a Hondo arc I would kill for. You know that. I would love to have just a complete 3 episode Hondo arc. I can't, like, honestly, I understand, even though I would love a whole Hondo series, to be honest with you, but I understand why that can't happen or why that wouldn't happen. Just doesn't, it's not something that makes sense to greenlight a whole Hondo based series. He's much more of a supporting star than a leading man kind of role at this point. But he's perfect to lead like a 3-episode arc like this. So I think this is definitely the place she should have gotten an arc. And I keep holding maybe they'll do a Tales of the Pirates or something at some point. Maybe that's what we'll get. Maybe we'll get the Hondo arc for sure, potentially. But no, I agree though. There's definitely space for him throughout this entire episode run. And yeah, usually we play it for the bit. Usually we joke around about it a little bit, and but kind of felt like this. I agree with you. This is a little more serious. That we wish we just got some Hondo action in this one. Unfortunately, it was not to be. All right, they got the 3 episodes from Asajj Ventress: A Way Forward, Friends, and One Warrior to Another. The Cad Bane arc of The Good Life, A Good Turn, and One Good Deed. I believe they're all written by Matt Mikovich, I think his name is. I can't say his name right.
Matt Michenovich.
Matt
Michenovich. Yeah.
Matt Michenovich. I know Dave Filoni did the main storyline of it, and then he just basically took it from there. So I like the idea of what we got, but let's break it down. Our first segment we have is our favorite characters of each arc. And Matty, I'll let you go first on this one.
Asajj, the Asajj arc, my favorite character was Asajj. And the Cad Bane arc was Laszlo. Was that
okay? Cool.
Was that his name?
Laszlo.
That was his name, right? Laszlo.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, Laszlo.
Asajj's arc. I'm just gonna come out and say it. It was very much a tale of rebirth, a tale of, quite figuratively and literally, a tale of finding her new lease on life, her new purpose, her new direction. But I gotta come out and say it. I felt like this was too short to do for Asajj.
You know what?
This story needed a lot more. I didn't really care for Lyko even.
Yeah, Lyko.
I don't know why. Maybe it's I'm kind of struggling with it because like I thought the first episode was really great. I thought the first episode was awesome. Getting to see the resurrection and how that came to be, and essentially it was kind of like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty-esque, but like super fucking goth.
Right.
And spooky, which is awesome. And I thought it was cool, but that it left a lot to be desired. Like, speaking of desire, Mother Talzin saying, you can come back to life, but you must sacrifice your heart's desire. What does she mean by that?
You know what? I'm going to interject actually real quick and say I'm going to get out. I usually do this in segments that way, and then we kind of wrap up. I think maybe this way. I'm thinking about maybe we should.
I'm not going to give my whole thing now.
Why don't we start with that? Because I think we have to get some stuff out of the way, and then we can get into the segments. I think, honestly speaking, just because inspired by that, because I'm inspired by what you're saying as well. Because I have to say, I said like on my social media at one point, I came for the Asajj arc and I left for the Cad Bane arc. I stayed for the Cad Bane arc, as I was to say. I was disappointed with the Asajj arc. I'm not going to lie. Not only was it, I just thought that the Asajj arc, I didn't hate it. It was good. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love being with Asajj. I mean, Asajj is also my character of the week because every other character was pretty much a nothing burger overall, honestly, for me. Rotzi. Seeing Latz was good. The bounty hunter was kind of nice. Mm-hmm. And I liked her betraying them. I kind of liked that angle, like getting us back and forth between that. Like, so a lot of times with the Underworld characters.
The old timer from Sereno as well.
Yes, the old timer Sereno, who's not bad. He wasn't bad. But Latz, usually they've been doing this whole like bounty hunters. Well, they're always good, but it's nice to see them like kind of have some, they're going to turn you in when they need to kind of thing. Some old school Hondo action right there. But the arc for me left a lot to be desired. I loved the first episode as well. It was so great getting to see like basically the end of Dark Disciple in animated form. It just made me want to see an animated movie of the Dark Disciple. That is what I got out of this whole arc. Like I felt like that was that would have been a stronger thing to do. And so we have the character who dies at the end of Dark Disciple, and we thought she was gone. We had a big kind of like reveal in the Bad Batch that she was not gone, and they were gonna, we're gonna let you know how this happened and everything else. And the voice actress was saying, "Oh, her story is not done," and everything else. I'm like, okay, all right. I mean, and some people were kind of like, understandably, kind of like, well, Dark Disciple was such a great ending for her character. Why do we need her to continue? We like the character, but why do we need to resurrect her? And I agreed, and I said, like, at the point, it was like, I would be okay with resurrecting her as long as there's a good story to tell for it. And so far, I'm like, we're resurrecting her for this? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a whole lot to the story that, like, demanded. I hate saying it like that because I'm not the kind of guy that usually is like, I'm usually like, well, we don't need this story. Well, no, we don't need any story. Like, this felt, particularly at this point, unless this is like a backdoor pilot for something later, are we going to get something later on that continues her arc? I mean, this was a story about rebirth, sacrificing love, finding your own place in the world. I mean, there is worthy parts of the story.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel like we need to do it with this character who had a very solid, good ending. Like, at the end of the arc, I'm kind of like, oh, that's it. That's what we got here. We got, like, okay, so she comes back to life, and I'm okay with how she came back to life. We've had Darth Maul came back to life. Mother Talisman magic can do a lot, and that's so you might not like that. Some people are kind of probably like, well, it's too much of an easy out. That's fine. I understand why you think that, but I accept that. That doesn't bother me. It's just kind of like, you do it, and then, like you said, she comes back, so she has to give up her heart desire. What does that mean? We don't really know. Like, if she sees him, is he going to explode, or is she going to explode and die again? And if that's the case, why is she, like, even going to go on this mission to possibly see him again and then decide not to by the end? Like, I don't need things to be spelled out for me, but it felt like that was something that should be a little more clear about, well, what does that mean? I have to give up my love for him. Like, what does that mean? And she obviously does it without even thinking about it. She kind of comes back really quick, and I've been okay with that. That's something that's part of that character. But what are we doing with this at this point? You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah. And, like, the themes are there of, redemption, and we don't see a lot of atonement and kind of actually coming back from that darkness.
Right.
We don't see a lot of that. It would have been nice to. A lot of people say they would have loved to have seen it with Ben Solo. Like, Ben Solo have to deal with the repercussions of his actions. I'm in absolute agreement with that. But it's not to dog on the ending of The Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
Lord knows I would never, not on the internet, especially live. But yeah, no, it was just there was a lot of questions left. Like, I left it with more questions than when I went into it, if that makes sense. If Dark Disciple had been it, then I could let it go.
Right.
But with this, I'm like, why does she not have, why can't she go Nick Quinlan? Why is she gonna, like you said, is she gonna explode? Is she gonna die again? Why? I do love
would want that to be the way. I'd want that to be the way, and I'd want that spelled out, because then that makes it a little more tragic. Makes you understand, like, okay, it's that tragic choice of, like, do I risk it? Like, do I say F Mother Talisman?
Does Quinlan not remember her? Or, like, do they take his memories of her away, or something like that?
I don't need everything explained out to me, but give me a little bit with that specific. You can't just say you can do this or this, and then just, like, I mean, even if they didn't say anything, like, because then but the worst part about it, like, not saying anything, okay, fine, but then, like, you get her getting excited about seeing Quinlan Voss again, and she's going on the path, no pun intended, to see him again before deciding at the end not to. And we don't see why she decides not to. Is it like one of the things where she realizes, like, did she forget what Mother Talzin said, or did she, like, I mean, you could have had, like, an intervention with Mother Talzin, or, like, have her have a conversation, like, I got brought back, but I don't know. I can't stay away from him. And she has to remind him, or she says something, then she says it, like, if you go to see him, then he will hate you, or he will forget you, or something. Give us, like, something that she has to like make a decision about. We just don't know. It's very vague.
Again, yeah, I think that's it. I think I've like through talking this out, I feel like I've come to the crux of my issue of like I don't know where this is going. And I'm kind of like, we had this great ending. We brought it back, great. But why? I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Right. That's exactly my point.
And like I said, the themes are there of like the atonement and her helping this young kid who, like her, she was abandoned as a youngster. You know, this kid obviously under different circumstances through Order 66. She's protecting this kid, helping him, you know, find his way in the galaxy now that the Jedi Order are now gone, essentially. And there's that theme of, you know, found family, which is very prevalent in Star Wars, and connection. And this is going to be very, very, very selfish of me, but Dark Disciple is one of my top 3 Star Wars stories of all time.
Absolutely.
She has that connection with Quinlan.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Why couldn't we just
continue that or
continue that on?
Or find a way? Like, I understand, like, they killed her off in the book, and if they decided, you know what, I really love this Quinlan and Asajj team. If we can bring her back, we can explore that more.
I just want to see the happy ending. I just want, for once, character in Star Wars to have a happy ending.
She deserves absolutely deserves a happy ending. I agree with you on
That's
that.
the thing, though. I don't think she does.
But no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say deserves, but like the character, not the character, like her actions. I'm saying the characters is been like in our like lexicon for so long, and like she's done a lot as a character for us that we deserve to see a conclusion of some kind, not necessarily happy, but some kind of like solid.
Obi-Wan lost Satine.
Right.
Anakin lost Padme. You know, Cassian's probably about to lose Big. And I think that's another thing of like, there's so much like with Andor going on in the minute. I'm just like, oh, everyone's dying. All these, like, there's no happy endings here. I'm just like, these two, let these two have their happy ending.
Right. They could. And like, it makes sense. Like, honestly speaking, like it gives me, like when she came back, we know that Quinlan Voss has been mentioned a few times regarding the path now. It mentioned Obi-Wan, is mentioned here when Leica was talking about it. So obviously in canon, Quinlan Voss at least helped to set the path up. We still don't know a whole lot about the path. And except beyond that, we had a little bit of a touch in Obi-Wan, and we've heard about it a little bit here, but nothing much to it. And I feel like it was being set up more for that. Like, because we have again, we can bring it back. When she came back in that Bad Batch episode, all of a sudden, like, we were expecting something big from her then, and we got nothing from her then. It was just like this appearance, like, oh, we brought her back for that. Must be more that she's brought back for, and we're just using that as kind of like a, hey, reminded who she is. Let's get going. Oh, I want to see more from her, and it worked enough for me. I'm like, okay, cool. With the idea at the time, we thought she was getting her own series, or the Path was getting its own series, like full-time series. But now we have the Maul series, which again, I like the Maul series, don't get me wrong, but like that's
she will more than likely show up in Maul Shadow Legend.
Right, and I get that to a degree also, which should be cool. Like, and I hope so to a degree, or I hope they have some plans, because at this point, still, like, I was willing to forgive it for Bad Batch, knowing we had something else coming up, and now we knew something was coming, because like the actress had said there was something coming, and then the Bad Batch people said there was something coming. So okay, cool. I get that. I can wait and like let you tell your story and let you give it to me whenever you're ready to give it to me. Now we don't have that promise. This could be technically it, and this is it. It feels like such a waste and such like a detriment to it feel not okay. Waste is a wrong, maybe
I was gonna say waste.
It defies the memory of Dark Disciple. Like, it kind of ruins that ending a little bit to have this. That's what it wastes the ending of Dark Disciple, because Dark Disciple was a strong ending for her. It was a strong ending for the whole that a very solid. Okay, sacrificing yourself for love. That's how we end it. And now we're bringing her back for a waste. Nothing really. I mean, like, is it a good art? Is it still a good story? Do I love hanging out with Asajj? Asajj is my favorite character from this arc easily, because I love being with her. I love seeing her. I love spending time with her. I do think she had some good development as far as things go. By the end, she was definitely a little different, but it just feels a little tired, tiring with that. If that's what we're getting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Here's what I feel like is perfectly. I can sum up how I feel about it. I was left wanting more, but not for the reason of this is great. I want to see more. I was left wanting more of her arc because I have infinitely more questions.
Right. Yeah.
Who the hell is this kid?
Right.
Like, why do we keep this? Here we go, another apprentice that survived.
Yeah.
Like, and I get that argument of like, yes, it is a handful of Jedi survived. Right. Yes, but what we have Omega, like she goes and finds the Bad Batch and she's looking for Omega. Like, where's the interconnecting piece here?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we just being super impatient and they have something in the works? Probably, right?
And if that's the case, like I'll spoil a little bit. Like I'm not gonna tell you why I rated the arc until the end of the thing, but I will say I'm kind of giving it an incomplete because it kind of depends on what we get. If we get more, like an actual series later, or if we get a solid return that's not just kind of like Bad Batch type appearances, that might retroactively make this a better piece. It'd be like a middle piece of an arc instead of a open-ended kind of kind of thing. So it's kind of feels like it's an incomplete thing. And I want to point out here.
And we had, and this is the thing. We're not shitting on this story at all.
No.
Presented with the story that we are presented with in front of us. It's fun. I enjoyed the heist. I thought the heist was fun.
Yeah.
The third episode was the one that I was like,
we're ending up with this. I loved
the story of the old veterans and people not being able to let go of the past and like still fighting those wars, whether it's inside you or a literal war.
But I also love the idea. The positive of that was visiting old former separatists, armies in their in the Empire time. Great experience there. Getting time with Lazzarazzi and CT1 Heisinger. Good. I'd like to have more time with the heist, with them killing it there. I love that aspect of it. I do. I think this is it's just the overall part of it kind of brings down the episode for me in terms of I just kind of feel like, huh. And here's the other thing I want.
The big thing that got me. Here's the one thing at the end that like actually did grind my gears a little bit. You went all this way with this kid to find the path, and then. Brother, I grew up in an era where Ash Ketchum went to leave Pikachu at the final end of the Pokemon season for Pikachu to just turn around and come running back to him. I am used to this kind of storytelling breaking my heart. This one, like, I was like the whole time she was riding away, I was like, oh, the kid's gonna come up in 3, 2, 1. There he is. Like I expected it to come, and I was just like. You went all that way.
I didn't like it.
All this for nothing.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the whole arc felt like to me a little bit. To be honest,
Leica's not with her when she goes to see the Bad Batch.
So
what's she gonna do? Drop the kid off at the nearest spaceport?
Eventually, yeah. At that point, maybe Maul kills him in the Shadow Lord. I will say,
Shadow Legend.
Two things that really kind of grinded my gears a little bit overall. Well, first of all, Leica, again, you mentioned it already, and I didn't get to say my piece on it. Leica was, again, a nothing burger character to me. He just felt like we've seen this character a billion times. There's nothing about him that really stood out.
Ahsoka in the Clone Wars film. So we got to be careful with what we say because we may end up absolutely adoring this kid.
Absolutely. You know what? You're not wrong. But I felt like, honestly, it would have been better if it was like Petro from the Youngling arc, that arrogant kid from the Youngling arc kind of thing. Like if he had survived or something like that, at least we had some past with Grogu. Yeah, I guess that would have been interesting. I guess, but Grogu and
Ventress.
I don't think Grogu would have worked at this arc. What they're trying to do with it, he's not communicative enough to be that way.
Grogu, what are you talking about? Grogu works in every arc.
He wouldn't work in the arc that they're trying to tell. You need somebody communicative, and you can't spend a 3-episode arc getting him to start talking to a little bit somehow and get him away from eating crunchies. So
They've done
like
3 seasons of it with the Mandalorian.
well, you have 3 seasons to work with. This you have 45 minutes at most to work with. You don't have time to develop that.
We didn't have 3 seasons to begin with.
Yeah, but we had the time to develop it. You didn't have the time to develop the beginning ending of this. You're speaking out your. I'm saying, but like the Petra, at least we have a background with. Like, I don't even like Petra that much, but I feel like we have a background and kind of don't have to worry. And like he felt like I actually thought like it was kind of Petra. I thought that was who it was at first in a way. I was like, is that who that is? And went like, I'm like, okay, so it's not him. All right, fine. And I guess looking back, he doesn't really look a whole lot like Petro, but like it just felt like that character. So a rehash of that character to a degree. So I wasn't I wasn't thrilled with that. But my final complaint against this that I can lob at it is, why is this being told? Besides the fact that they want to tell the Asajj Ventress story and they want to tell this story, it feels like it shouldn't be a Tales of the Underworld story.
Agreed. That's why I said a Hondo story would have been better for this.
Because it just feels like we have the Lazzarazzi bit, so we have the heist with the Underworld.
She even said she doesn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore.
She doesn't want that part of that life. The first episode and the last episode have really nothing to do with the Underworld at all. Like the second only tangentially because of the involvement of Lats and needing to get the information. So it just feels like it's like you're telling the Tales of the Underworld, then tell Tales of the Underworld, not this. This would have been better for Tales of like. This is actually a Tales of the Jedi episode would be even better because Lisa Asajj is a former Jedi and Leiko is a Jedi. That would kind of make sense. Or Tales of the I don't know something, but Tales of the Underworld does not fit. So.
Yeah. Let's move because we spent like half an hour on this now. Let's move on to what we thought of the Cad Bane arc.
You know what? I'd like to actually reject that idea. Let's go through the segments for this and then we can go back.
Okay.
To the arc.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So we know both of us said our favorite character of the week for this arc was the Asajj arc. Was Asajj easily. All right. Ice-Spec, favorite line. Do you have any favorite lines from this particular arc?
I did really like the line of "I took this job for the peace and quiet." Because it shows that she does, she has turned over a leaf. She has decided, look, I just want a peaceful life and backwater planet. Take this minimum security job out the way of everyone. I can lay low. She's essentially doing the same as what Obi-Wan's doing.
Yeah,
just laying low. Don't bring any attention to yourself. Obviously, we see how that goes, but. Yeah, it shows that she really is trying to turn over that new leaf. She's been given this new lease on life, and she's like, okay, I'm not going to waste this by making the same mistakes as I did before. I'm not going to jump right back into bounty hunting. I'm not going to, go after Palpatine for what he did. She really is like, okay, look, I'm alive. Let me take on this gift that I have been given, which, by the way, I love the parallel of, I made the joke about Sleeping Beauty. It kind of wasn't a joke because Maul was resurrected, clung to life because of his hatred for Obi-Wan, where it was Asajj's love that brought her back into the physical realm. So I love that separation between the two. It's like a parallel, but then it gets to the end of the road and it kind of splits.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good solid choice there for that.
So I thought that was really beautiful. So that line of, I took this job for the peace and quiet. I was like, okay, she's really taking this on.
By the way, real quick, I just want to throw out thank you so much, Douglas. I've been our big, great supporter. He's got both of them going on, I bet, at the same time. It's very impressive. Thank you, Douglas. I'll say for me,
I'll watch the pros and come back to this.
My favorite line of dialogue actually was a funny one. It was a comic one. And it also is one of my laugh it up fuzzball moments, but I'll save another one for that. Is when she's it was in the third episode. She visits the grandfather character, and she's the battle droids up. The scarecrow battle droids as he has. She's like, it seems effective as always. Just weight peak line. I'm like, there's a lot of weight to that line, like a lot of trauma she's dealt with having to lead the battle droids. I felt that in my soul. I'm like, you poor thing. You poor Asajj. Yes, effective as always. I was cute. So, all right, put that in your holocron and Snoke it. Explore more lore. I'll start with this one. I kind of mentioned it as part of my complaint. at this point, explore more lore. I want to know the path in Quinlan Voss. I want to get more involved in that. I want to see a big arc with that. I want to see the end of Quinlan Voss. I feel like he wasn't around for the rebellion, or else he would have been around for potentially.
You mean the end of Dark Disciple, or like the end?
The end. I want to see the
Why
end.
would you wish for that?
Well, I mean, like I want to see what it is. Only because I want to see a conclusive arc.
Okay.
Obviously, we know we just get these little tidbits around. Oh, we help with the path, and then like we know he's not around for the original trilogy. I mean, I guess he could have done an Ahsoka and gone away to a different like galaxy. So I want to know why we didn't see him later on. So let's get that conclusive storyline with Quinlan after he sets up the path. Hopefully, he gets reunited with Asajj somehow. Asajj gets over her magical, crutch.
This is why you need to play. You need to play Jedi Survivor, because there is a mention to the path and what could happen to the path in that game.
I will have to watch or play that, or at least watch
or at least watch the cutscenes.
At least watch the cutscenes. But that's my most thing I want to discuss was to figure out more lore. But also, I'll throw in there just secondary. And I enjoyed getting to see some of the Separatists in there, like the girl. So I wouldn't mind seeing that explored a little bit more, especially we get to see more like the. We don't know a lot of Separatists per se, but like the Bonteri, we knew them, so we kind of got to throw in some of the other Separatists we didn't know and how they're reacting now to being a part of the Empire, especially now like probably the grandfather of things like looks like we were right in a way. The Empire was, or that Palpatine was a bastard, and look what's happening now kind of thing. It's kind of like a little bit of a "I told you so" kind of moment. So, what about you? What do you think?
I mean, I already said it in my analysis of the thing. What the fuck does give up your heart's desire mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is that? Like, does Quinlan not remember her? Does is she gonna die again if she touches him? Maybe it's one of those things that like they can see each other but they can't touch each other. Like, does his touch kill her or something? I don't know. I could come up with like one of a million fucking things, and I suppose it is like a fairy tale, Shakespearean tragedy kind of a deal. But at the same time, man, I'm just like, let the fucking crazy kids have their happy ending.
Yeah, I heard you on that. All right, next up, seen a lot of action. A couple action beats to go from this. Actually, had a lot of action beats in this one to choose from. If I'm going to pick one, though, for me, it was the Asajj. As much as it was a little bit, well, we've seen a little bit before, but at the same time, I still loved it. Was the Asajj versus the Inquisitor? Like, sure enough, it's another Inquisitor we hadn't met yet. That was a great battle, a great duel. The animation, we haven't really mentioned the animation yet. The animation was absolutely beautiful in this arc. Crisp, clean. I loved how they showcased the lightsabers. Felt like just vibrant. It was very colorful. Didn't have any kind of dullness to it. I loved seeing Asajj fighting. Like they had the music. Oh, the score also I should throw out there. The score. Fighters do it again. They were phenomenal. They make this seem even more epic than it was. But Asajj versus the Inquisitor had that nice like little, almost like rock music at the beginning, like when the Inquisitor came out, like in a way, like the rock orchestral kind of thing. And the fight itself was great. And seeing at the end there when Leiko pushes both blades through to the backside of the Inquisitor, that was just a fun battle. It was a fun.
I thought I saw Marek in the trailer.
Oh, maybe. I thought maybe I think I remember seeing him too, but maybe it was just something we
was that Marek.
Maybe that wasn't obviously wasn't the character Marek, but maybe that's what we thought.
Maybe I just thought or hoped I saw Marek. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be it. But yeah, so it was fun, especially after watching Andor so much recently. It was nice getting a lightsaber duel. So,
yeah.
What about you? What was your favorite?
There was a moment that I was like I had a fuck yeah, like a fist pump moment, was when C-21 stood on top of the ship.
Yes.
Stuck his arms out, went horizontal, and then just started turning and started shooting all the gunships down.
Yes.
I was like, that's badass. That's cool.
The heist was great. There's a lot of fun moments in that heist.
I love the chase through the canyon, the Lion King style stampede through the canyon. I thought that was pretty cool too.
That was very solid. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I thought that was cool when like Asajj had the realization of like, stop, we're stealing their water. Like,
right.
Let's pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes. Let's chill out here for a minute. Yeah, absolutely. Calibrate your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
That was good though. So yeah, I think if anything, Asajj, if the arc was good at anything, it was definitely showing those action set pieces. They were a lot of fun. So I feel like I almost feel bad. I feel like we like picked out a kid, like because it was like there's a lot of good stuff to it. There's still a lot of fun to have. I'm sure
We
it's
are
true that
essentially
episode-
doing what the people that came before your generation did to Ahsoka in the Clone Wars movie.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
We could grow up to absolutely love this kid. This
Like
kid
as good
could
as
grow
it
up to
is.
be so important. And we're just here just like, who the fuck is this kid?
Who are you? What are you
And
doing?
why is he interfering with Asajj story?
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. So,
Asajj didn't need a Padawan.
that's the thing. Actually, I wouldn't mind Asajj having a Padawan's fine, but I think it's kind of a cool thing to go through, especially. So we didn't know exactly where he ends up, like I said, and he wasn't there when. Oh, you know what? Maybe he still is with Asajj when she visits the Bad Batch. He just wasn't with her for that particular
Maybe he was free.
appearance. Never know. Never know. Maybe we'll get a show later on. It'll be the adult Omega and Lyko teaming up.
Yeah.
You could never know. So yeah, could it be?
Omega was another one. We thought Omega was annoying as fuck at first.
I never did. I loved her from the beginning.
I did. I thought she was annoying. The first couple of episodes, I was just like, who is this little squirt?
All right, let's go to
Being kid, I don't know.
maybe you are. Laugh it up, Fuzzball. Our favorite comic moments of the week. I already mentioned the battle droid scarecrows there. Do you have anything else you wanted to throw in there?
I did find it kind of funny how when they're in the office in the first episode and like Asajj is there, just like protection, and she does the mind trick and everything. And it's just like the person who owned the station or whatever was so like, get them out of here. Like, don't panic, or like all this. And then Asajj gets them out of there. And suddenly there's a mention of a reward. She's like, reward, huh? Oh, he's back there. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Reminded me of old what's her name that you hate from Bad Batch?
Sid,
that's it. Sid.
Yeah. Would have been
Well,
nice
how is
if
that?
she died too. In my head canon, Sid is dead.
I know you think that. So I can't wait for her to come back. Can't wait for her to make a comeback. I'm gonna have my Perrin and Sid team up at some point.
I will quit the fandom. If those two are on
That's
the same
what
show together, I will quit the fandom.
No, I'm okay with you hitting on Sid. I still stand by Perrin. All right, next up we got. Let's see. Actually, no. I'll mention the other humorous moment I had. I did like the water jug moment, even though it was a little. He was a little annoying in front when he kept he offered her the water jug and it was empty.
Oh yeah, and it was, dude. I was like,
that's a
fuck
dick
you,
move.
man. That's a dick move.
The dick move, but it's still. But that actually, the funniest thing is that actually endeared me more than anything else he did. Everything else he did, I was kind of like, I just don't care about you very much. Just shut up. You're being. I don't want to really hear what you're saying too much. You're talking too much. But then he did that. I'm like, that was kind of amusing. You're being a little dick. I love that.
If that was me, like, I'm kicking you off and you're walking the rest of the way.
That's fair. Douglas is saying he knew Michelle, so didn't hate on Omega, but can see why some did. I mean, I could see why people would
hate on Omega. I just thought she was like an annoying little brat.
So you have some hate for it. It's okay. You got a little hate in your heart.
Hate. Just
you had some hate in your heart, Matty. It's
me
okay
and young kids. I'm just like, you annoy me.
It's
Stop.
Okay. You can admit it. Admitting is the first step. The other day.
Okay, what about you and Liam, huh? I mean, all of us and Liam. Liam, you had one job. Get the fucking shades.
That's a bit.
Is it a bit? Is it a bit?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm sticking to. That's my story. I'm sticking to
Okay.
it. I also did like him getting the corpse on board when they made and he had that I want to try to get the corpse on. I can see kind of picture in my head watching him try to do it, just drag this, get the corpse on board.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was a nice little bit of slapstick comedy. I would say that was pretty good.
So. All right. How about a force vision from this one? Do you have any force vision from this one?
I get at least one fucking question answered from this arc.
Mine is like the same way.
Like I left this with nothing answered.
That's what I feel like too.
I was like, how did she come back to life? Well, we knew she came back to life.
Yep.
We probably knew it was night system. It was always gonna be night system magic. That's how this shit works.
Right.
But I left so confused.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I'd say my fourth vision is more of a like usually our fourth visions are excited. Like, we're like, oh, we get to see this. I think this is going to happen. I can't wait to see how. I'm kind of like, for me, I'm just like,
I can't
just
wait
wanna
to watch
see
it because
the
I
adventure
want to know
continue.
why the fuck.
I want the
What is
continuation.
the purpose
Yeah.
of this?
I just exactly. We need purpose, and so I'm hoping that Asajj tale continues. Maybe it gets its own series. Maybe it's continued in Shadow Lord. The problem with the ideas that we
think
have,
this was
there's
a
a lot
backdoor
of
pilot, and we're circling back to where we were. So I want to like push away a little bit. Like, it does feel like a backdoor pilot to me.
It did. It felt like that to me too. And I also the thing is, the problem I have is that we have a couple of dangling chads out there. The rebellion, the clone rebellion, Rex and stuff, and Cody, all that stuff. There's some out there that feels like they could be finished somewhere, but it feels like I don't want everything like you mentioned before. Well, maybe she'll be in the mall show, like, but I feel like it's too much to get like into like one like that's a mall show. We shouldn't have Asajj's finish in a mall show really at this point. It feels like
they do this though, don't they? They say it's going to be a character show, and
Yeah,
then
you're not wrong.
Like Andor, they call the show Andor, but it's about
The rebellion.
and Ix and the rebellion, or Solo, and it becomes
Right.
about Kira and Lando. And I think more Shadow Legend is just, I keep calling more Shadow Legend because fucking Raid Shadow Legend. Shadow Lord is going to be about Maul, but it's going to then envelop into the wider galaxy and maybe that is going to be the Tales of the Underworld.
Mm-hmm. I will say that if it does work out, I mentioned before, this I will come back and probably like this arc much more in the future if this does happen. I think it could be told. I think Maul is a good place for Asajj's story to go. And I said I don't love the idea of always combining it, but you're right. They do expand out on things. I still want to know the end of like the Clone Rebellion and how Rex and Gregor and everybody got to slinging sloopas or whatever they was.
Yeah.
But I don't know
we had a Tales of the. It's like the people that want the Anakin spinoff.
Right.
Saga was about Anakin. People wanted Tales of the Clone. You had 7 seasons of Tales of the Clone.
I know. I would actually. This is the one time though. I think I would be okay with it. I would be okay with even the more just to kind of like wrap up.
We love the clones, but we had 3 seasons of Bad Batch, which was Tales of the Clones,
right,
and 7 seasons of the Clone Wars.
I get it. You just got to tie up some loose ends, and I feel like the Asajj stuff could be tied up in the mall show. I feel like that makes sense. Whereas Rex's story doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to wrap up in the mall show. Potentially, I mean, it depends on how it goes, but like I feel like just conceptually speaking, I could see Asajj and the dark side and that kind of like having its place in the mall show. Maul trying to apprentice her maybe at some point, like and failing miserably potentially, or something like that. Or fighting Lady Talon, Lady Talon versus Lady Ventress. I could see that.
A really good 3-episode arc for this.
What?
That we didn't get a lot of. Django.
Yeah. Huh? Absolutely. I mean, it could have been a Tales of the Bounty Hunters too. We could have them like that and have that work out. That would be good instead of just the Underworld. But I digress. I hope we get more of it. I do. That.
We find out how Rota got so jacked.
Yep. All right, so let's rate this one on a scale of
3-episode 0 arc.
No, shut your mouth. I will quit the fandom on that. We already had enough of 0 in the Clone Wars. I'm done with 0. On a scale of he's dead anyway. He's dead. No, bring back him. On a scale of 1 to 11, what do you rank this arc?
Whole arc overall or episode by episode?
Let's go to the whole arc. We'll go to the arc overall.
I'll give it 7.5.
I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
And I hate saying that. Like it's a bad feeling 6. Like
you have a bad feeling about it?
I do, but I can't deny it as well. I think that 6 out of 11 is still not like awful. I think the animation is wonderful. I do think the score is wonderful, and I think a lot of it is good. It was a lot of disappointment for me on this one.
Well, you're halfway there. Just over.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Just still living on a prayer. All right. let's move on to the other arc, and the other arc completely redeemed this show for me, as far as I'm concerned. This one belongs in the Underworld show.
Yeah. Did you ever see that it was like an old 70s movie with Dean Martin called Showdown?
I've heard of it. I don't remember seeing it, though.
This really reminded me of that movie. Like, it brought back memories of watching this movie when I was a kid. Of the outlaw and the cop, or the sheriff, who were childhood best friends. And then an incident happens leading them to get split up. And then they end up coming back together on opposite sides. I was like, fuck yeah. This is spaghetti western in Star Wars. This is what George would have wanted. What would George Lucas do? This.
Yeah. This felt just perfectly right on just about every level. And I gotta say, Cad Bane is a character who I am hit or miss with. Like, as far as I like the character a lot, I do, but I feel like a lot of people love him more than I do. That makes sense. Like, I don't like. I feel like everybody loves Cad Bane. I love Cad Bane. I'm just like,
I love Cad Bane.
I like Cad Bane. I'm going to Cad Bane. I don't get as excited as other people do, and that's fine. I went into this being like, oh, okay, so cool. We're gonna get more Cad Bane. That's cool. Man, I left. Yeah, I was just very, very excited and happy with what we got. And the main thing I really am happy about is that they were able to find a way to humanize him just enough to be a focal character, to like make it. This is why he's a focal character of this 3-piece arc and everything else, but does never ever denied his villainy, never made him like. It didn't make him try to have a redemptive arc or
I still feel no sympathy for him.
Right, exactly.
He made his choices.
Absolutely. Like, but they showed you where he did have some stuff in the past, which is at least again just more depth from him. I was like, okay, this is a character. I see where some of the choices came in. I see how he got from point A to point B, and we don't like love him anymore. Actually, I like him more as a character now, because he feels like he's actually got a little bit more depth to him. Like before, he was kind of like, everybody loved Boba Fett from the original trilogy. Even though we had like 19 words and he would just look cool. That was basically his entire shtick. He looked cool. He looked like a badass. And, that was it. That's pretty much what Cad Bane was. He looks cool, talks cool, has a great shadow, is a badass. But like, that was his character. It wasn't much of a character. He has character now. A lot more character than he ever had before. And there's some depth to that character. Like, that seems more than just, I'm a badass. I like that. But it didn't try to make it too much humanity. We don't ever have any sympathy for what happened to him. Like, sympathy for like the fact that he grew up tough. He grew up in like a little bit rough. Yeah, sure, that kind of thing. But like every choice he made was a shitty one overall, except for one minor one at the end. But again, it didn't do anything to change the character we know. I mean, change it by like altering it. It's just a lot of times when these characters have these changes, it kind of like changes what we know. It alters them, what we know. This just added to him, which is why I liked it more. So, yeah, I was a big fan of this arc for this one for sure. I love the characters. I like the characters we got. I like the settings we got. I love that we basically got Chicago. It feels like it was Chicago.
Yeah, it did feel like Mobland, Chicago,
the galaxy far away.
In a western. Yeah,
I felt like that a little bit. I liked Nero enough, like the character of Nero, and like I like that idea of it. I mean, the trope is nothing new. We're getting a brothers. All right, I know he's not really the brother, but the brothers who on opposite sides of the law. But it never felt like it. It never felt like it got too cheesy or too derivative or anything else. Like the archetypes were there, the tropes were there a little bit.
It's a story we've seen 1,000 times,
right? But done well,
done really well. But we haven't seen it in Star Wars. We haven't seen like a true like gangster spaghetti western. Obviously, George pulled. I'm not stupid.
Right.
George pulled from those influences.
Of course.
You've only got to look so far to see, The Man with No Name or like any of those other spaghetti western movies influenced from George. But this was the first one where it was just like, oh, that's what this is. That is it.
Yes.
And even to the point where you speak about the humanizing, that was my biggest fear coming into this show was, are they going to humanize? Are they going to make me empathize and sympathize with Cad Bane? Someone who I want him to be like, no, that's just a bad dude. Like, yes, he grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, and I know plenty of people personally in my personal life that grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, and they just stayed bad people. That is real. That is something you can relate to. There are just bastard-coated bastards with bastard feelings, to quote Dr. Cox from Scrubs. There are just evil, horrible people in the world, in the galaxy, and I love that this show did that. It showed that about Cad Bane, but it showed that it was the sum of his own choices.
Yeah.
He chose to get involved in the robbery. He chose to leave Nero behind. He chose to go with Laszlo. He chose to avenge Laszlo and go that path of vengeance. And look where it got him.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel no sympathy for him, and I'm relieved for that, because that's kept how I view the character of Cad Bane intact.
Agreed.
He's just a dick.
Yeah, exactly. But he's
just a dick.
He's a dick, but like I'm happy he's a dick and not just I'm a badass. He's got more character in these 3 episodes than we had seen pretty much in any of his other appearances. His other appearances, because we never got to focus on him. He was the antagonist. He was just the badass bounty hunter. He was the badass. He did cool things, but you never really got a sense of who he was. I get a sense of who he is now, and it just I love that about this. It worked out so well overall.
I don't know if anyone watching this has played Red Dead Redemption 2. He is the Micah of Star Wars. Just like, he just made shitty fucking decisions, got in loop with the gang, and it was just like, I'm just a fucking asshole. Mm-hmm. And he ends up paying the ultimate price. And I did worry at the end when we have the reveal of who the child is, that I was like, oh no, is this going to be like, is he going to take his son? He just turned and walked away.
Oh yeah, I was so glad. That was my best part. The fact that was my moment. I said he had the one redemptive moment was he decided not to kill his son, because until he found that out, until he figured out that thing, he was like, I'm gonna take care of him like you took care of Aaron, which basically meant he's done. Done. That's what I thought was gonna happen. And of course, killing a kid, that is kind of tough thing to do, even for a badass. Like, you're kind of like, I don't know.
I mean, he went to do it with Omega. He went to do it with those Jedi Padawans.
Absolutely, he's going to do 100%. But like at the same time, it's like he chose the small touch of humanity that gave him death, and that just okay, I'm just going to walk away. I'll let him live. I'm going to let him live because he's part of Aaron. He is a part of Aaron in a way that and part of him, and part of their relationship. So I'm not going to raise him. I'm not going to be daddy. I'm not going to do anything like that. But I'll let him live and walk away.
But now I do hope he lives beyond. I hope he lives beyond Book of Boba Fett, because the anime lover in me now wants to see the anime trope of, you killed my father, I'm going to come back around and I'm going to kill you.
Oh, that's part of my, I think we'll talk about that, I guess, in a way.
I want like an animated thing or a live action of Nero, of like Cad Bane like stumbling out of an alleyway and Nero's just there. What was the kid's name? Isaac, right? Isaac. I remember that kid being like an oddly human name, and I was just like, I want to see like Isaac standing there holding Nero's blaster, like wearing his vest, like You killed my dad. Yeah, my name is Isaac. You killed my father.
Oh,
Time to
Time
die.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
Isaac becomes Inigo Montoya.
I love that idea as well. I would love to see you can go even further. I mean, technically speaking, we could see that have it take place before the Book of Boba Fett, and somehow Cad Bane absolutely just lives through it. Although I know that does kind of lessen the stakes of it a little bit. But maybe the kid decides to, because the kid's not necessarily a bad guy. Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he ends up, because his father wouldn't want him to. Like he would do it. I have Cad Bane in me, but Nero raised me, so I'm gonna get my revenge somehow. But at the end, he like brings him in. Like obviously he escapes from prison or something, but he has a chance to like do it, and he doesn't kill him. Maybe he goes to kill him, but makes a decision not to kill him, kind of thing. I think that'd be a great future tale. I think I'd love that. That's actually full spoiler, my fourth vision, explore more lore. I want to see, where is Cad Bane's son now? What is he doing now? Is he a marshal somewhere? Is he a bounty hunter himself somewhere? Is he nothing? Like, there's potential there. There's some kind of very
he
cool
becomes
potential.
a bounty hunter, and his first bounty is his dad.
Right? Something like that, potentially. Be kind of cool to see. Like, there's a lot of potential there. So, yeah, I think that's kind of a fun idea thing to do. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But, I also like the art here. I liked everything they did here. I think that this tale fit the arc so much better. It fits the anthology piece so much better. Let's just get into our rest of our segments. Let's go talk about our segments now. Our favorite characters of the week. You already said this before because you started this off differently. You wanted to go with Laszlo, which is good. Yeah. For me, it's Cad easily, and I did like Nero as well. I do want to touch base though on what you said about Laszlo. Laszlo was a little. If I had a criticism, Laszlo might have been in. I'm not sure. It's maybe a criticism. I still haven't landed on him yet. I see what they're doing with it. They're definitely pulling on the old Indiana Jones thing. And like the bad guy was, and like he got the hat from Indiana Jones, like it's the hat and stuff. But I was like, do we really need Cad Bane to copy someone else at that point? And like, he was almost being like, it almost makes Cad Bane like less.
Well, it's Goodfellas, right?
Yeah, it just feels like, because am I seeing Cad Bane? He's seeing us. He's going to become Cad Bane. He's going to become Laszlo, but be Cad Bane. Good old Colby becoming Cad. It didn't.
That annoyed me. Like his real name being Colby.
Colby, yeah.
Like what is he, like some white dude from Nebraska? Like,
I don't even know what that kind of name is, to be honest. Maybe that's what it's. Yeah, it's kind of a weird. It was a really weird choice.
I'm removing that from the canon. Like his name is Cad. Like we're not calling him Colby, because the next step would be calling one of them Kyle.
he's a mild cheese. You're right.
He's a mild cheese.
Yeah, it was a little strange, I guess. But I guess I just wasn't completely sold on that in terms of like, I just feel like, okay, so Laszlo basically comes off as second-rate Cad Bane, honestly, even though he was technically now the original. He just feels like he felt like a second-rate Cad Bane. Like what we were getting out of him. I didn't get enough individualization out of him. In order to, like, I wanted to see something a little different from him. Again, it's only 3 episodes, and he's only he's in the first one. He gets killed in the second one, or is it? He killed the second one, or killed the first one? He's killed in the second one. Okay, yeah, that's when he
reminded me of Russell Crowe's character in 3:10 a Yuma.
Okay, yeah.
You've got Christian Bale's son, who's like supposed to look up to his dad.
Right.
But he's more looking to Russell Crowe's character, the bandit, the outlaw. And you're like, kid, I don't know if you should be going that way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, okay, so I guess if I said criticism, I do mean criticism a little bit, but it's definitely a light criticism. It's just kind of like, where I land on him. The nitpick, yeah. Could have used a little more individualization from him. But all right, for me, favorite line of dialogue from this arc, I didn't actually have that many lines that I loved. The one I really loved the most was one that was in the trailer. I hope it was worth it. And like, yeah, the Cad Bane going, oh, it will be. It will be. I was like, okay, that's very, very Cad Bane. This definitive Cad Bane. That was the first time that he was really
so cheesy, though.
It is.
It's such a cheeseball line.
It absolutely is, and I loved it.
Will be.
It will be.
It Will
he? It was.
All right, calm down, Yoda.
Hey, I already told you that was the line that scared me scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. So I kind of have some nostalgia for that line. So maybe bringing it up just maybe I'd be happy. I don't know. What about you though? You have any other lines that you want to highlight?
You took everything from me when it was absolutely not true. And it just shows that he cannot take self accountability for his own mistakes, for the path that he chose to walk, the decisions that he chose to make. He still turns to his best friend who he's just shot and is dying and says, you took everything from me. You did it, not me. He's pointing the finger at his dying childhood friend as opposed to pointing it inward and being like, I made the mistake of killing the sheriff that got me put away, and I missed the birth of my child and the death of my girlfriend, wife, whatever that him and Aaron were.
Right.
Like, you made that conscious decision. You made that mistake that ended up you being taken away from their lives.
100%.
And you're pointing the finger. Like, you have completely missed the point.
100%. Yeah, no, I agree. That was a good poignant moment for sure. It just solidifies what we knew about Cad Bane. It's like he's
He's a dick.
He's a dick and he makes poor choices. It is what it is. So, yeah, I'd go with that. All right, put that in your holocron and snoke it. I already kind of said that for me. Basically, it was Cad Bane's son. I want to see what's coming up now with Cad Bane's son. Do you have anything else that you wanted to explore more, lore on?
I'd like it if they went back a little bit more to be like, how did the two of them end up as street rats?
Right. Yeah.
Because, like, I do feel that was a crucial part of the story. So I would have liked to have found out a little bit more as to how they ended up that way.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. There's so many, like, homeless and starving children in the world. And we have a lot of them, we don't know their stories.
Absolutely. It's true. And
maybe the world would be a better place if we did, so we could figure out how to change it.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. Solid point. I was going to say, like, at some time, I think for story purposes, though, I don't think we need to know everybody's birth to death.
That's the point of the segment. I want to know.
I know, and that's fine. I guess that's fine. For me, I don't think I need to know everything like that way. I personally am happy not knowing. I feel like I don't need to know any more about that myself. That's on my own purposes, though. You know, if we got it, I'd watch the hell of it. I'm not gonna lie, of course I would, but I don't. I
was kind of not nervous, but like hesitant with this arc coming into
I was.
I remember when we spoke of it. So I'm glad to see that you've come away from it with with more than you expected going in.
It's like I said, I just don't. I never had. I love him now more than I ever did. Like I want to see more of him now. Before it was kind of like, oh, he's a good villain, he's a good antagonist. When he shows up, that's cool. But I wasn't like jumping over it. Oh, I got to see more Cad Bane. Who is this character? Like now, I'm like, oh, I know this character now a little bit more. He's got a little depth to him. He's more interesting to me now than he ever was before. And that's what this show did for me. So this arc was so much more like meaningful and felt like it was worthy storytelling. I'm not saying the Asajj Ventress story wasn't worthy overall. It just still feels like it left me unsatisfied. This one left me satisfied. But all right, seen a lot of action. Your favorite action beats from this one?
It's been done a million times, but I don't care. Give me a duel at high noon. The wide shot, the spaghetti western, the Mexican standoff, whatever you want to call it. You give me it like every time. I don't care. A lot of people are like, oh, it's an overused trope. No, it's not. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome.
I totally agree with you there. I could not get enough of it either.
Because you never know who's going to pull first.
Absolutely. And the tension is so palpable. Like if it's done right, like you really are like, ooh, I mean, we know that Cad Bane wasn't dying. We knew it. Yeah. And yet I still was like, oh, the tension was all about whether Nero was going to die. The tension was going to be, it was kind of like what the Marshal was going to die. I mean, I kind of thought the Marshal was going to die because we were leading to Cad versus Nero. So that kind of was a little bit given away, but I still felt that tension there going on. which is why my specific, if you're going to talk about the duels, I like the one with the Marshall even better than the one with the Nero, because we had the
Yeah, the
Marshall
one with the
and
Marshall was a
Nero.
lot better.
Marshall just felt that tension there, like, because here was Cad making that step. He was taking that step beyond. Like, he already, by the time he got to the Nero part, he was already in jail for years. He's already that. Like, this is him taking a pretty big step here. Not only that, but then you had the follow up. You actually get him versus Nero a little bit until Aaron takes the gun away from him and throws it away. It's like, that's a cool angle to go at.
That was what the tension was for me, was Aaron being there.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is she going to get caught in the crossfire?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I thought she absolutely was going to.
Is the Marshal going to like shoot? Cad Bane dodges and then like it hits Aaron, or does he hit Aaron?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally with you on that. Totally with
and
you.
And then he kills his wife and his unborn child and decides to still walk away.
Intense.
I think that would be a little bit too dark. I don't think they would have gone down that road.
Probably not. You never know. This is Tony Gilroy. All right. Let's see. Any laugh it up fuzzball? Any comic moments? We're in a lot of comic moments in this one. I had one. It was also something I could have passed off as my favorite line. Just the way he said, "Wish we had some crunchies."
Yeah, the crunchies bit got me. I love the bit with the droid at the start.
Oh yeah,
I'm all for people fucking around with the droids.
The Ezra Bridger kind of thing that he did. They did. Mm-hmm. Street Rat Aladdin thing. Yeah.
Aladdin. That's the perfect. I was gonna say it's very Aladdin Street Rat.
Yeah, it's funny seeing like people. I guess at that point that you see they're protagonists a little bit. They're not also bad people. They're just kind of like Street Rat kids who are trying to survive. Yeah. So it kind of leads that to it. It's kind of interesting that he was going to grow up to be the big antagonist of Cad Bane.
As long as I can remember, all I wanted to be was a gangster.
All I wanted to be was a gangster. That's right. All I can remember, all I wanted to be was a cocaine bear.
Great movie.
Ray Liotta's last movie, so I gotta give him props for that, I guess. But
it's a great movie.
All right. Anything else we gotta talk about? Maybe we should just give some parsecs, or you want to go Force Vision? Force Vision on that?
Yeah.
Kind of similar to Explore More Lore.
I'm just gonna kill Cad Bane.
For more lore, my Force Vision is I want to see Cad Bane's son come back. I think we will get him eventually. I think they're introducing him in this. I think there's a chance we get him somewhere along the line, whether it's a book or comic. We're gonna get an appearance from Isaac at some point. It's gonna be interesting for sure. I'm looking forward to it. So I hope it does happen. Maybe I'm wishful thinking.
Cad in the back over a matter of 80 credits.
Could be. Could absolutely be. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe
is it $80 the dog Brown gets shot in the back over?
Yeah, $80. Yes, I think that sounds right.
Cad is gonna get shot in the back over a matter of 80 credits by Isaac.
Yeah, that's true. $80 sounds a lot though, doesn't it?
Back then it does.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
What year was it back then?
1885.
1885.
Yep, over a matter of $80, $75 of which involved 10 in stolen.
How much was $80 in 1885? It's equivalent to $2,637 by today's standards.
There you go. Perfect.
Like a whole estate with that money back then.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 11, what do you rank this particular arc there, Matty?
I give this an 8. I really enjoyed this arc. This was really fun.
Yeah, I gave this one a 9.5. I really enjoyed it. I really super enjoyed it. One of my favorite arcs that they've done. I'm going to throw it out there off the cuff. Let's rank the 6 arcs we have seen from the Tales anthologies. We've got the Dooku arc, the Ahsoka arc, the Morgan Elsbeth arc, the Barasafi arc, the Cad Bane arc, and the Asajj Ventress arc.
Dooku, Cad. Which other ones have we got?
We got Ahsoka. We have
Ahsoka's low down because I've read the book already.
We have Asajj. We have Morgan and Barriss.
Then Morgan. Then Barriss. Then Ahsoka. Actually, Ventress, then Ahsoka last because I read the book. Like I know what happens.
That's fine. I guess that's a good.
That arc to me was just Dave being like, "Here's what I wrote, but I'm gonna put it in live. I'm gonna put it in animation for you." It's like
and
kind
change some of it.
of lazy, Dave.
Yeah. A little bit. I get that. I like that one more than you did. I would rank them Dooku number 1 as well, Cad Bane number 2, and they could actually flip flop. Cad might be my favorite. I'm not sure yet.
No, the Dooku one for me was fucking exceptional.
Well, Dooku, the 3rd episode specifically, was brilliant. The first 2 were solid, good ones compared to the Cad Bane overall arc. I don't know. I'm not
It
sure.
solidified my hatred for Mace Windu.
There you go. I'll say for now, I'm going to say Dooku 1, Cad Bane 2. For me, Barasafi was 3. 4 was Ahsoka. 5 Asajj. 6 Morgan Elsbeth. I wasn't the hugest fan of Morgan's. There's some good moments in there, but I'm not a. She's not favorite character of mine overall so far yet. That could change, but not yet.
I feel like that's what these anthology shows should be about, though, right? If we look at the big main major characters that we've had, the big 2 being Ahsoka and Asajj.
Yeah.
Dooku, yes, he's an important character, but like these are 2 characters that the fans have like really built connections up through.
Yeah.
They've been the 2 arcs that we've both been kind of like could have done without.
Yeah.
We hate to use the phrase, we didn't need these. Probably didn't need them.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe we just use these anthology shows for characters like Hondo. I'll keep saying it till it happens, or like I don't know, Ochi Bestoon.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to see. We're gonna project more characters. Ochi Bestoon would be a great one. We haven't done a sequel trilogy era characters yet. We can see more of them as well. Like maybe Zori Bliss would be a good one.
They've got the book coming out, haven't they? So
that's true. You have Zori one. That's true.
Probably not gonna get that one.
That's what I thought though. We also
Poe was in Resistance.
Yeah.
I mean, Hondo's obviously a Mosk.
Holdo would be good.
Although I think we're going to get a bit of Holdo in Ahsoka, but that's for an episode to come way down the line. Akbar
would be great, honestly. I know we're getting him back in Ahsoka as well, but he'd be a good one to deal into.
For Alex Damon, Biggs
Dark Ladder, absolutely. We got
Jar Jar.
I'd love it, but people would hate it. Other people would hate it. That's all right.
But also, like, I want the detractors to get a bit of comeuppance and have Jar Jar appear in live action.
Nice.
I want Keller and Beck to hand Grogu off to Jar Jar Binks.
Nice.
In Mandalorian season 4.
That'd be so great. That would be so awesome. Oh, so good. Yeah, a lot of cool things have gone. Or you know what else we could do with these shows, Tales of the whatever. We could actually do it instead of doing characters, special like events. Like I know, like just off the top of my head, we can't obviously Android like something like the Gorman Massacre, like something like events like that, or we could have multiple characters like that. The small, important stories that don't have other like things tied to it per se, or like they're not being told anywhere else. That could be a way to do them. We could do tales of the moment. I don't know, moments of the Empire, moments of that, maybe moments of I don't know, better name out there, obviously. But like something like that, like we could do that.
I've got it.
Yeah.
Tales of the Boffins.
Manny Boffins.
And we see how many Boffins exactly died.
Rogue 2.
There we go.
Yes. Douglas has got Tales of Hauser's hairdresser. I like that.
Yep. Tales of Hauser's hairdresser. That'd be good.
No. Sham Syndulla is another person we could actually get tales of.
Oh gosh,
yeah. A lot of cool possibilities out there. Some of the
I think it would be best if they kept these away from the I get you have to do it because you have to have the character in to like hook people into the show,
right?
But you're gonna this show I don't think is for like the casual.
Yeah, definitely
audience.
Not. I mean, I think they'd even try in this one. I mean, hell, the whole first arc is based on a book. Like, you didn't know the book, then you don't know what the hell's going on. People were probably like, "Wait, what? When did Asajj die?
Why is Quinlan Voss saying I will always love you?"
I'll be completely honest. Probably casually going, "Who the hell is that guy?"
Yeah.
Like, Willie Boss isn't exactly a well-known character, again, from the norms as they were. Like
He is my best friend's favorite Jedi.
well, no, but a lot of diehard Star Wars fans love him, know him, and love him, kind of thing. But like as far as like casual viewers are kind of like, I don't. I mean, think about canon for people who grew up with Disney canon. They saw him like in Clone Wars, like for a couple episodes. Like, oh, he's that guy from Clone Wars once. Remember, like that one episode with freaking Zero the Hutt that I blocked out of my head because of Zero the Hutt. Like, it's like, oh yeah. So like they might not even
Tales
know.
of the Hut. That's the thing. Why didn't we have a hut in this? There was you have a Tales of the Underworld. Not a single hut was shown.
Not a single Hutt, not a single Pike, not a single Black Sun, not a single Crimson Dawn. Like,
well, we're about to get an entire fucking show about that. So.
True, that's fair. That's fair. That's very fair. All right, let's move on then. We got a little bit of news that we didn't get to discuss last time. It's not a whole lot, but a couple of things that made me smile. 4 bits of news I'll mention. First one, Ahsoka finally in production. And is there much to talk about with this? Absolutely not. But Ahsoka posted on Instagram that they're going.
Although we don't know if you're going to be getting to see it now.
Oh,
because it's being made over here.
Well, we'll be seeing it either way. I'll definitely be seeing it. Don't we worry about that.
You might have to use a VPN and have it set to over here. If you know your fearless leader.
Yeah, something about that. So, God, you turned a feel-good story into something horrible. Thanks, Matt. Because my feel-good part of it is like I love the fact the Star Wars show introduction.
I have to keep you in check.
Cheating my optimism in check. Damn you.
Calibrate your enthusiasm.
Calibrate my enthusiasm. Don't use my words against me. Not my words, but don't use my favorite line against me.
Will you stop talking about how great Perrin is now?
No, absolutely not. I'm going to double down now.
Perrin is the Donald Trump of Star Wars.
Get out of here. You shut your mouth when you're talking.
He has absolutely no political experience. He just wants to party.
Yeah, but he's not the one that's in charge. That's the great thing about it. You know he's not in charge. He doesn't want to be in charge.
Oh, what, you think Trump is?
Trump wants to be in charge.
Lord Elon. That's the one.
He wants to be in charge. Perrin doesn't want to be. He just wants to have a few drinks. He just wants not to be a sad bastard.
He wants to be close to the people who are really in charge.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Ahsoka's now in production. Season 2 in production. That makes me happy. So I'm going to cut on that before we continue. Next thing I thought, interesting bit from I heard, Ryan Gosling and Hayden Christensen shared a meal ahead of Celebration. Again, not much to talk about, but I love the fact that Gosling is like, you know what? I'm going to talk to somebody who has been headlong into the Star Wars universe for a long time, get some advice from him. I like that Hayden's kind of become like this ambassador of Star Wars. Like,
I hate it for him. You see him in Celebration, dude look fucking tired.
Oh, he's tired, but he also seems happy. Like, honestly, like, for the longest time, Anthony Daniels, Warwick Davis, they were like the ambassadors for a long time. He was talking about it's like hosting Celebration stuff. Hayden is doing this a lot of like interviews, a lot of like hosting. He did the Revenge of the Sith like advertisements and stuff. He's coming back for Ahsoka season 2. He's like, he just seems like he's back in, all in, and he feels like he's like this ambassador for Star Wars.
I hope he's getting paid for it. I really do. I must say, I did love the him and Sam Jackson showing up together. I thought that was to the Revenge of the Sith screening. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's great. Sam is also someone who definitely would be an ambassador as well. He just hasn't been around.
He wants to be.
He does. He wants me back. He wants me back. And the Dales might start getting jealous. You're not wrong. But I love the fact that he I don't know if Gosling initiated or Hayden initiated, but either way, that's really cool to see Hayden like in talk and giving like advice.
Or maybe like Disney put it together.
Could be, absolutely. But either way, that's what I'm saying. I just love that Hayden's in this position and willing to and being happy to like pass on information, welcome him into the family, so to speak. I think that's a good thing overall.
Hayden Christensen is now considered an elder statesman makes me feel sick.
Right? He's younger than I am. Damn it. God damn it. All right, last 2 bits, small bits. I mentioned this on the show last time. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. Tales of the Nightlands, comic book written by Kevin Scott. It's going to be a Star Wars horror series. Like a 3-parter, takes place on the planet Ryloth. Twilight speak in hushed tones about the Nightlands, the spectral realm where their spirits retire after death. According to legend, there are certain nights where the veil between the haunted place and the land of the living is so thin that one can communicate with the other side. Enter the Nightlander, a Star Wars boogeyman who seeks to possess a powerful living host and bring despair to the galaxy. Each issue features one of 3 generations of galactic heroes facing off against the malevolent Nightlander. Issue 1 sees a young Padawan Anakin Skywalker visiting Ryloth with Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, attempting to summoning the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn for a final goodbye. Okay. And then issue 2 is going to feature Luke and Leia facing the horror, and issue 3 will feature Rey and Finn. I love the generational tales like this in Star Wars. I love the idea of get these moments and have different characters from different generations visiting them. I like that, and plus this makes you happy. The Nightlander is being designed by Ian McCraig, who also is well known for designing Darth Maul. So I think I love horror. I love generational stuff. I love we're getting Anakin Obi-Wan. I love we're getting a tale like Nightlander outside of the realm of stuff we've heard before. This seems like a cool idea to me. Are you any excited about this at all? Are you not? I don't know. What do you think?
I have a feeling that Tony Gilroy heard about this, and this was the Star Wars horror project that he was referring to.
Oh, God.
So if it means the Scoopers lose out again, I'm all for it.
You're not wrong.
If the Scoopers lose another one, I'm all for it. If Tony Gilroy just found about this comic book run, and he's just like, hey, let me spin this yarn real quick.
Oh, just doing it. Technically speaking, they are doing a horror project at this point.
Star Wars is doing. Maybe that's what we heard. Oh, Star Wars is doing a horror project. Cool. And it's this. James Wan and Mike Flanagan are gonna be nowhere near it.
That could be. It could be. But either way, I love the comic book idea. I can't wait to read it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
it does look good. Like I saw one of the I think it was one of the cover arts.
Yes.
I think Alex posted it. It looks cool.
Looks fun. Looks like a lot of fun.
I'm just more intrigued to know if this is the horror project that Tony Gilroy was talking about.
It does. It looks like a lot of what the EU should be. Expanded universe kind of thing. This is the kind of stuff you should have fun with. You can take a little more risk in the comic book world and the book world sometimes, and you can on big screen and anime with the limited amount of time you get.
Did
on
you
big
read
screen.
the Dark Droid Doc?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, the hell of a risk. It didn't really pay off.
Hey, risks don't always pay off, but big risk, big reward sometimes. So this looks more up my alley at this point. So we'll have to find out. Finally, I'm going to put up, we have another novel being announced. This one, Star Wars The Last Order. It's a Finn and Janna novel taking place post Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, Finn and Janna. That's what I was talking about. Not Finn and Zori.
Oh, okay. So I thought Zori was getting a book at 1.2. Maybe she didn't.
It's Finn and Janna.
Okay, Janna.
I don't know why I thought it was Finn and Zori.
Okay. So Zori can be in Tales of. There you go.
Zori can be in Tales of.
But Finn and Janna, I like it. First of all, I'm just my little heart loves the fact we're getting post Rise of Skywalker material. As someone who loves the timeline, loves reading the continuity and everything, we haven't had anything post Rise of Skywalker really yet, except for the Lego holiday special. I think that's the only thing we've had so far. So getting something like this that takes place, we're advancing the story finally. I love that idea. Having it involve what we could have explored or should have explored more in the sequel trilogy with Finn and his Stormtrooper history, and now Janna and her Stormtrooper history. And I'm going to assume Lando might be involved at some point. I'm hoping, given what we had with Lando and Janna at the end of Rise of Skywalker. I just love the fact we're getting something different. Again, I love the High Republic and I love a lot of those things, but I want to get a little bit more outside as well, get some more spread us out, get some things we haven't gotten to see yet. And post Rise of Skywalker is definitely high up my list as to where we're going next. So I love that idea. It does make me question the Finn.
It's good. Let's get into it. Let's just put it out there. They continued to fuck John Boyega over.
Maybe.
He's reading this and he's just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, we haven't mentioned him being a Jedi yet. We haven't mentioned him being a Jedi.
No, it hasn't. But his big complaint was how Finn was essentially sidelined.
Right.
And now it's you're putting it out in a book.
Well, let's pause that.
I'm just saying from his perspective.
Well, we don't
If
know
that was me, I'd be pretty pissed.
Well, what if you were already inking a deal and you know the script for the next time you're appearing, and it's
we know that he's going to be in it, but still.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's got he also knows what the story is or something. He might be happy with what he's getting. I think we don't know. So if he's happy with what he's getting, he sees the book, then it's like, all right, it's like a little.
If he's happy with what he's getting, but like if he's not.
Well, if he's not, he probably wouldn't be doing it. I think I had the feeling that him signing on, he kind of said, well, I want to know what my story is before I sign on, kind of thing. I think that was probably one of the caveats.
This is his source material.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm just excited to get more. So I don't know about you. Are you happy with this book at all? Are you going to read it? Are you going to be excited about it?
Yeah, it might be one of those books that I'm like, I'll get to it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think I will admit
There's a lot of books coming out, dude.
It's more the timeline that makes me excited than anything else. Getting something post Rise of Skywalker to see, like, all right, now First Order is done. Where does the galaxy go? This is our first look into that. That's what makes me more excited, even more than the Finn and John aspect of it. I'm not gonna lie. But we'll see. All right, I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much, Douglas, for being around here in the chat, and everyone else for watching the post. You're probably going to come straight ahead after Force Center is done to come watch us. I get it. I totally get it. We'll see you then.
Well, we've only been going for an hour and a half, so they've probably still got like half an hour left.
True, absolutely. So we'll jump over there, I guess.
Well, I'm not spamming the chat, so they may actually be done by now because
that could be.
Haven't got me there keeping them there.
Where can the folks find you, Matty?
You can find me on social media at Matty Mourner. You can find my band Mourner on all streaming platforms. You can find me here every week for Holy Snokes and every month for Class Action Live. Next week, Counter vs. Counter 2, as we said at the start of the show. PLD, other than your name being on the tin, where can people find you?
You can find me throughout the entirety of this channel. Again, Holy Snokes every week review. It is my name is on the tin, I should say. A review every other week where we talk about V. PJ Campbell and I doing two middle-aged geeks on film. We are going through the Superman franchise, and on patreon.com/PLD projects, you can join up and watch us do our MCU rewatch. We are going to be recording The Avengers tomorrow, and I think Captain America, the first Avenger, will go live on the Patreon tomorrow. This will come in the main channel eventually, but probably not for quite a while, probably not till December. I will say that it's very interesting that we're recording The Avengers today after watching Thunderbolts this weekend, because there's a lot of similarities there that I'm going to touch base on as far as how things were developed. So I'm excited about that for sure.
No Bob though.
No Bob in The Avengers. That's true. Queen podcast every week as well. I talk about all the Queen songs, going one song by song throughout the entire discography. And Class Action next week, Class Action Live, The Accountant versus The Accountant 2. And then our exciting, we didn't announce it yet, did we? I don't think we announced it yet. I don't think we should yet. We'll wait till.
I think we should wait because oh baby is a doozy.
We have our next Class Action in mind, and it's going to be a fun one for sure. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining.
It'll be entertaining. Sure. That's for sure. It might be stressful for us. That's right.
But yeah, we've got an impossible task.
Absolutely. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Comment. You know what to do. I don't have to tell you this by now. You're grown men and women, and everybody else in there, a whole audience out there. Do your thing, and we will see you next time. Actually, we'll see you this Thursday. This Thursday, as we cover the third arc of Andor, and according to everybody's thing, it's the famous Gorman Massacre arc is what we're looking at. Hopefully it seems wrong to say that, but I do want to see it, so it is hopefully. So until next time, as always,
may the Force be with you always.